Good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing all right. It's time for the abnormals. As you can see, we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, and we have 5 abnormal skins to chase after today. If you are a new person, if this is all new to you and you don't understand what an abnormal skin is, if you were to look at the description of this video right now, you'll see 2 video links. One of them is a short video, which will briefly explain everything in about 60 seconds, and the second video is about 20 minutes long, but it goes a whole lot more in depth in regards to what abnormal skins are and why it's so good for us in terms of wanting to make some potential profits. So just sit back and relax. We're now going to go ahead and discuss what prices we might want to offer for these abnormal skins, which should become marketable in 2.5 hours time from now. And then, of course, after we've done talking about that, we'll talk about the regular skins being skins that only become marketable when a rust store rotates, which of course will be tomorrow. And then we'll talk about what we could expect for tomorrow, and then of course we'll snap ahead to the likes of doing the actual buy orders. Sounds good? Right, let's get in. So first of all, I just want to point this out. SUMM likes to make assumptions into figuring out what skin potentially is the top selling skin of the week. It uses a formula, but if we were to look at these skins based on bare minimum sales, Brucelist is the top selling skin of the week. But just to follow with what we see here, I'm going to first talk about the Thundergold gloves, if that's all right with you. Okay, cool. So, Thundergold road sign gloves. SUMM assumes there's about 20,000 of them that exist, but we do know 15,000 bare minimum sales are there, all right? And when you make comparisons to the likes of the Tier 3 armor, you can clearly see that Tier 3 armor had around bare minimum 20,000 sales each, but it's expected that it has around 21 to 22,000 sales between the both of them, which is perfectly fine, especially the likes of this and this. If these two did end up with about 20,000 sales each, it matches up ever so perfectly in line with the Tier 3 armor. So instantly, number one, that's good for that. Now, when you also make comparisons to the other road sign glove skins that we have, take a look at this, and what do you see? Comics road sign. After all the fuss of this year, it's only down by 5%. It hasn't really moved that much, which is fine for it. But as you would know, Comics didn't get a full collection, did it? It got its hoodie and pants, it got the road sign, gloves and boots, and that was it. We didn't get Tier 2 armor, we didn't get Tier 3 armor. Recently, we did see a brand new Tier 2 armor being uploaded to the workshop. That was last week. Didn't see that being accepted in the Rust store last week, but then again, no Tier 2 armor did, so who knows what potentially might appear tomorrow. But the main point is, this has just kind of been sitting there. It hasn't really moved much, but it remains stable. And that's a good indicator that there's the Thundergold road sign gloves right here, they very likely, at bare minimum, will behave the same. The amount of sales this has, though, definitely appears to be quite a lot less compared to the likes of this. This has 25,000 bare minimum sales, but it's expected there's about 33,000 plus in circulation. So, again, that's what SUMM assumes there is. And when you make a comparison to the likes of the whiteout road sign gloves, well, these haven't gone down in price that much. And right now, they're just under $7. Even though there's like 50,000 plus of these in circulation, $7. So, if you're wondering, does this have competition? Are there any potential issues? Honestly, I don't think so. I'm looking at these and I'm honestly thinking you could probably be very aggressive on this buy order. With the likes of how well Thundergold has performed, look at Tier 3, comfortably above $5 for both of these pieces. If we do see the likes of Tier 2 or hoodie and pants being accepted in a Rust store in the near future, well, things are definitely looking to be very, very, very interesting. So I am looking at this with confidence, and I'm sitting here and saying I think we can go all the way up to maybe like $1.70 for our buy order. I want to be able to buy them and still be able to walk away with a bit of a profit if I could sell them again, or at least make evens. But my answer to you is $1.20 to $1.70. Even though this is a $2 skin, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if this is just comfortably staying above its Rust store price over the course of the next 2 to 3 months. What happens after that? Well, we shall see, but I honestly do think those road sign gloves are going to have a pretty nice future ahead of them. They haven't sold an absurd amount. We are looking towards more potential continuations appearing, and, well, I'm pretty sure we feel confident in it. So $1.20 to $1.70. Yeah. Now, I would talk about the boots, but they are not abnormal, so we'll save that for a little bit later. Let's now move on to talking about the likes of the Brucelist Sheet Metal Door. Okay, so we've discussed this a lot. This sheet metal door has transparency. There are not many sheet metal doors widely available that have this amount of transparency. No. And I'm not sure if we're going to see another one appearing anytime soon. I'm referring to transparent sheet metal doors. Now, on the horizon, I can expect that we are eventually going to see another bombshell skin, and it very likely will be a bombshell sheet metal door. And if you are fully well aware, all the bombshell skins did have transparency. Transparency and glow in the dark, transparency and glow in the dark, transparency and glow in the dark, transparency and glow in the dark. The most recent bombshell skin was the bombshell sheet metal double door, okay? I wouldn't be surprised the next one's going to be a single sheet metal door. And if you can remember, this did have transparency. So, we look at the likes of this now. At the very least, we're not going to see another bombshell skin until maybe January or February of 2024. So over the course of the next couple months, this is going to be uncontested. I know there's some people that commented when I talked about this in the 48-hour analysis, and they said, well, you know, you could just get like the, you could just have the Twitch drop, or you could just have the skin that you can buy in the permanent store. And you are correct, but even then, the amount of transparency on the Bruceless door is just not comparable. Plus, it's also glow in the dark. This is very much pay to win. I cannot step away and say no. It is. It is. So, like I said, if we're not going to see another bombshell sheet metal door for a while, I'm pretty sure this is going to have a very comfortable future ahead of it. And I haven't even spoken about, well, especially in regards to the amount of sales it's had. Only 17,500 bare minimum sales based on the subscriber account. When you make a comparison to the garage door, it's a lot different, isn't it? Look at that. That had almost 30,000 bare minimum sales, comfortably in the positive right now. Well, this has got almost half of that. It's ridiculous. Now, again, you might question, okay, so how often do you have a sheet metal door? How often do you have a garage door? Again, it still seems ridiculous that this had so much less sales. And again, you also need to take this into consideration. The amount of people that are currently playing right now versus the amount of people we would expect for the likes of January time. Do you reckon there's going to be a lot of people who don't even know that sheet metal door exists, who are going to be surprised at what they see and want to buy it? That's something you're definitely going to have to consider. Because we did have a lot of people playing not too long ago, but, you know, school, college, you know, they had to disappear, the young ones, but they will be back in December. And, well, what do you reckon they're going to do when they see that? Potentially for the first time. Well, they're very likely going to want it. And if this does retain its value, it very likely will be going up in price. And if it does go up in price a fair bit afterwards, it's going to go up in price even more. The amount of sales is not ridiculous. Things are looking very positive for this. There's a lot of very good potential context in regards to everything behind it. And I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if Duck the Skin Creator moves on and makes a transparent armoured door next or something. I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest. Maybe a double door. Maybe we see the likes of, some other transparent skins. Maybe it turns into a proper collection. Because I should point this out once again, we saw a lot of people jumping in and buy this out simply because this appeared. So I get the feeling a lot of people are under the assumption this is going to be turning into a deplorable collection. So, okay. I'm looking at this and I'm honestly thinking that I'm probably going to do at least $3, and I might push it all the way up to about maybe $3.70. You know what? We could probably do $2.70 and $3.70. That's my buy order. That's what I'm going to do. Now, if you feel very, 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 very confident in this, you could push it up a little bit more. I can't imagine it's going to make that much of a difference. But at the end of the day, this will be uncontested for at least 2 or so months. And what do you reckon is going to happen next? Will we see more skins being made? Well, did anybody ask? Did anybody approach Mr. Duck and say, hey, I like the skin, can we see more? A lot of people did. A lot of people did. So, yeah, he does intend to continue it. He didn't continue it this week, but I wouldn't be surprised if we potentially see something appear next week or the week after. You never know, but I'm pretty confident we will. So, things are looking very positive. I'm confident in it. $2.70 to $3.70. And I wouldn't be surprised after today, when we've done the buy order, we look at the buy order support, wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if this has buy orders already all the way up to $4. Because we did kind of see that with the garage door, sort of. But yeah, this is a whole lot different and it's sold so much less. All the better for it to rise up in price if there's a lot less of it in circulation. I've said that many times over the past year. Well, we shall see what happens next. Sounds good? Right, let's move on. Desert Beast Poncho. So, this was made by Y9J. What did he make over the past weekend? It wasn't Desert Beast. Instead, we got Pirate Flag. So, this is awkward. We're in a bit of an awkward position here now. Now, we did speak to him directly. Funnily enough, he actually appeared during the Restore Rotation stream, and we're asking him questions and whatnot. He does want to continue it. He did say that. He just doesn't fully know what he wants to do next. So maybe he just felt, you know what, I could make another pirate skin this week, and it's a very nice one. Pirate flag rug, awesome. Loads of people appreciate that. But we really did need to see more traction of this, like, actually getting somewhere in regards to building up to being a nice primitive collection. So I'm a little bit hesitant on this now, and you might sit there and say, why? Well, take a look at all the ponchos, and what do you see? Awkwardness, yeah. The only poncho that's done good this year is the poncho that got the full collection. Pirate poncho ended up with the likes of balaclava, hide shoes, hide clothing, blah, 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 blah. You get the whole idea. It turned into a very nice primitive collection. We didn't see any more for the carrot poncho. We didn't see that much more for the frog cosplay poncho. We didn't see that much more with the tempered poncho, blah, 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 blah. You get the idea. You understand the whole situation. So I am looking at the likes of this, and I'm hesitant. We have a lot of ponchos. So many over the past 2 years. We've seen tons of them come out. I think I'm probably only going to do maybe like $1. No. I might do like 90 cents to $1.30. Because I've seen how it goes many times in the past with ponchos. There's an initial amount of people that are interested, and it just goes... I think the best thing to make a comparison to is the likes of the banana leaf poncho. We were very hopeful to see a continuation potentially being accepted. A continuation was made, if you can remember. We got like the primitive clothing, didn't we? But it wasn't accepted, and, well, look at it now. So, yeah, that just only reinforces my point of let's go about 90 cents to $1.30. And, if we do see some more things happening afterwards, all the better for it. But, this by itself, maybe a lot of people will appreciate this, because if you aren't fully aware, there's a lot of people that are looking at the likes of the recent DLC that we got, the Frontier Base pack, and they're treating it as if it's like Wild West content. And many skin creators this past weekend made many cowboy-themed skins. So I get the feeling maybe this might still work out quite all right if people look at it as if it's like some sort of cowboy clothing. It's up to you. But there was a lot. I assure you. Okay, if we just go over to here. Oh, there's the Twitter. If you go over to here, so the Rust Workshop skin checks, and if you go to the description, you'll see a link to the new collection. And that's Frontier. Let's see what else was Frontier. We had a few Frontier. Wild West door, Sheriff Wooden door there. What else? We had the Sheriff Garage door. We had the Frontier Rustic door. There was a lot of stuff. And then you look at the clothing, and what do you see? You had Bandito's hoodie and pants, Western hoodie and pants. You had a cowboy hat. There was a lot of stuff this week. Very themed towards the likes of the new content. So, number one, consider giving that a watch. Remember, if you want to just skip ahead to all the continuations, they're always chaptered, so it's easy to navigate through the likes of that. But, yeah, back over to here. It might work all right, but I'm just going to stick with doing a 90 cent to $1.30 by order. I have seen many ponchos come and go, and I've seen many of them suffer. Awkward, but it is what it is. I accidentally deleted 2 things I didn't want to remove there. Right, awesome. Okay, so that was said. Let's start talking about the likes of the hay storage next. So, hay storage... I like it. I think it looks cool. I think a lot of people will appreciate it, but I can't imagine everybody's going to appreciate it. More specifically, the role players. Oh, yes. I've got myself all of my hay bales. I'm going to go stack them all over to the side, and then I'm going to go feed and tend to the animals and whatnot. Ha ha ha. Other than that, it's a pretty cool looking small box skin. But how have small box skins behaved over the past year or so? Let's go take a look at the likes of that. Because when you look at all of them, what do you see? There was a lot that are accepted, and there's a lot of them in the negative. Oh no! All right. So, unfortunately, this hasn't been the best of the. This hasn't been the best years for small box skins. Now, I will point this out. At the very beginning of this year, post Christmas time, January 2023, all of the skins you see here, they were all in the positive. Every single one of them. Every single one of them was in the green. But I am not so confident all of these are going to be in the green when it's January 2024 time. Who knows? It might potentially turn out that way, but I will sit here and say, most of the time, small box skins do return to the prices that they sold for. And I do kind of worry about this. So I am looking at this, and I'm under the assumption that maybe I just want to play it safe. I'm probably just going to stick with doing a 90 cent to $1.30 buy order. That's going to be what I'm going to go for. But if you feel more confident, if you think Hedge, we're not going to see a small box skin like this ever again. Surely this would be appreciated. Surely people like it. Surely this would be bought. Surely around post-Christmas time, this would go up in price quite comfortably and very nicely. By all means, if you feel more confident in it, offer more money. But I've been burnt out a lot this year with small box skins, and I think I'm just going to play it safe. So that's my suggestion. If you want to play it a little bit more aggressive, why not offer $1.50? Why not push up to $2? The choice is yours. But I wouldn't be surprised if you could pick these up at a cheaper price. So I'd go for that. That would be the suggestion I'd suggest to you, if that makes sense. Right, so good stuff there, Mr. Michael. Hey, who knows? Hey, who knows, chap? Maybe we get a large box. Maybe we get a furnace made out of hay. Maybe we get a door made out of hay. Maybe we get a hay rug. So who knows what happens next? But of course, you are aware there's some potential positives that could happen. I did not intend to do that. Shut up, don't laugh. Right, okay, so let's now talk about the likes of the Soulless Legion bow. A lot of people have told me that they really do like the design of this, and I'll give it its due. I respect that. It's very nice. It's very shiny. It looks very nice. So, unfortunately, the main issue is the amount of bow skins that we've had accepted this year. More specifically, the amount of bow skins we've had accepted recently. Over the past month, over the past 4 Rust stores, we've had a bow skin being accepted. Chemical Burn, Zombo, Pumpkin Bow, and then Soulless Legion Bow. We've had quite a lot of bows being accepted in such a short amount of time, and we've basically already eclipsed the likes of the previous year's bows. Then again, 2021 did also have a whole bunch of them. But take a look at all the bow skins that have come out over the past 3 years. Negativity is mostly all you see. Not good. Not good. No, 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 no. So, you're probably sitting there and wondering, okay, so, like, what do we do then? Well, I will give it this. Mr. Verona did put out a very nice looking skin this week, and guess what? It's a crossbow. So in terms of primitive weaponry and whatnot, we've got some pretty cool looking skins here. I wouldn't be surprised if this potentially is accepted. Again, looks exactly just as shiny and just as nice and all set up there like the bow skin. So I'm going to sit here and say this. I could see the likes of the bow skin going down in price. I could imagine it dips down a fairly decent amount. But I could see this getting quite a lot of traction when loads of people return to play the game. And I could see it returning to the price it sold for. So whilst many bow skins that came out this year are they're very likely just going to remain suffering, I can imagine this kind of working out quite all right. The best thing I could make a comparison to is the Storm Bow. Storm Bow during all of this year, it suffered, but it didn't suffer as much as the other skins. Now, it's suffering a little bit more at the moment, fair enough, but most of the time, it was only down by like 30 or 40 cents. People still appreciated it enough to want to use it. So I could see the same thing happening there, but I do still expect it to go down in price. So the point I'm trying to get across to all of you is, I think we're just going to stick with doing a somewhat decent buy order. The safest option I'd sit here and say is, of course, 70 cents, 90 cents. But I could imagine this holding up a fair bit more. So my answer to you is I think we could do 80 cents to $1.10. If we do see that crossbow being accepted, maybe things might improve, but then again, the Soulless Legion collection would only consist of weapons, and most collections that are like that don't really tend to hold up quite alright. Yes, Chameleon and Redemption do, but they're Chameleon and Redemption. They're nice and shiny, and lots of people appreciate that. But I do know Mr. Verona has been very successful over the past few years, and he definitely can make various different skins for various different weapons, so let's see what happens next. But keep an eye out. That's my answer to you. But yeah, that's it basically. So that was all the abnormal skins. It's fine. Overall, we haven't had an insane amount of sales. But I am still very much cautious. I don't want to spend too much money right now. I can imagine most of it potentially still going down in price a fair bit, but I don't think it's going to last that long because, of course, as we enter next month, December time, we're definitely going to see a lot of skins gaining some traction. A lot of skin prices are going to be going up. I actually put out a video today. If I quickly hop back over to here, I also put it out on Twitter. So here you go. The value of Rust skins are now expected to only increase over the next 2 months. With Christmas getting closer, all Christmas themed skins are expected to peak in December. Usually the beginning of December, but because we also have the Twitch Rivals event, I could see it being quite strong all the way into about 2 weeks into December until we get the actual first Christmas themed Rust store. But then, of course, with post-Christmas, literally the day after Christmas, December 26th, and then throughout most of January, all skins are expected to reach all-time high prices, and it's the best time to sell if you make the best profits. That is not that we are not that far away from here, are we? So, yeah, everything here might suffer a little bit, but it ain't going to last forever. The very second this month ends, the fun begins, all right? And that's just 3 weeks away, so get yourself nice and ready. So, shall we start talking about the regular skins? Let's start talking about the likes of the Thunder Gold boots. So I must reiterate, a regular skin is a skin that isn't abnormal. This will only become marketable when the rust store rotates tomorrow. So the very second it does, you'll very likely start seeing these appearing on the Steam market. Now, if you need a link, if you need to be able to figure out how to get a link for these, just go to scmm.app, go to the store section, see this marketplace link right here? There you go, now you've got a link to it. Make sense? So you could do that for all the skins. Okay, cool. So let's now start talking about you. So initially, when I first saw these boots, first of all, very nice, very stylish, very cool, and I think a lot of people will be appreciating these. Hopefully more than all the other white boots. But take a look at this. So with the amount of sales, we've already talked about that. It matches up ever so nicely with the likes of the Thunder Gold. So that's cool. Now, these are 99 cents. Could there potentially be issues with this? Well, initially I would have said, maybe this is going to sell too much. Nope. Just as much as tier 3, so that's fine. So now we need to talk about all the other boot skins that exist, because there's a lot of white themed skins that have come out over the past couple of years, and that could potentially cause problems. What do you mean, Hedge? Well, the main issue is the likes of the whiteout boots. Whiteout boots came out earlier this year, and it was the most recent whiteout skin to come out after about a year or so. And whiteout's very popular. If I go to the front page of the Rusted Steam Market right now, there you go, whiteout. Whiteout is consistently, usually always on the front page. It is that in demand. It has an absurd amount of these in circulation, because when they first came out, they did like 80,000 sales for all the armor and clothing skins. Doesn't matter. There is so much demand for it that the prices hold on. They hold. So back over to here. Oh, not that. I better close all that. So yeah. With the likes of that, it sold an expected amount of about 100,000. It was ridiculous. And there's so many of these on the Steam market at the moment. Now, these were at points having 1,000. There you go, it still has 1,000. These have had I think the highest I've seen is 5,000 on the Steam market. So the main point I'm trying to get across to all of you is, if you're looking at the likes of Thunder Gold boots and thinking, maybe it's a nice, cheap, affordable pair of white-coloured boots, well, no, you've got white-out boots literally there. And because there's so much of it in circulation, there's a lot of it on the Steam market. Maybe all these people who are currently listing these in the Steam market could probably all talk with each other and then decide to remove all of them, and suddenly the price might go up. Oh, wow. Who could have guessed? But, yeah, this could potentially be a bit of a problem. This could potentially cause this to not really go up in price that much. However, the rules of, if we do see another core piece being accepted, such as tier 2 armor or potentially hoodie and pants, we will still see all of this spike in demand, spike in price. It doesn't matter. Color doesn't matter. It does not matter. It's still spike in demand, spike in price, because people care more about this collection as a whole rather than what it currently looks like in terms, it's potentially a much more affordable whiteout collection. Well, no. Disregard that. People like it because it's Thunder Gold. That's the answer. So, looking at this, I kind of want to go all the way up to 99 cents in terms of my buy order, but I'm also just kind of thinking, well, there might still potentially be some problems. I think we're going to probably want to do maybe like 80 cents to 90 cents. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this has buy orders going all the way up to 99 cents tomorrow. This very likely could be a situation with what we saw early this year in regards to Pirate Collection, where all the buy orders just went all the way up to the $1. So all the pirate skins, if you can remember, they all were selling for around 99 cents in the Rust store. And then instantly, the very second they became marketable, it had like hundreds of buy orders, literally like 97 cents, 98 cents, 99 cents. It was ridiculous. It might be the exact same thing, but this doesn't have like 50,000 sales. So, okay. Moving on from that point, yeah, I'm still going to say 80 cents to 90 cents. What you do with your money is up to you, but I can see it retaining its value very nicely from here and now. And honestly, I think you could just jump in and buy some. I just wouldn't buy a ridiculous amount. But just be cautious. Over the course of the next couple months, we shall see if we do see more Thunder Gold. If it doesn't happen, well, post-Christmas, I should still see that going up in price quite a fair bit. So we'll leave it at that. let's now move on to talking about the Desert Beast bandana. So again, with what we just talked about in regards to the Desert Beast poncho earlier, the same thing applies to this. We don't see any signs of continuation happening any minute now at the moment. What Y9J said, he does intend for it to be a collection, but again, the best thing I can compare to is the banana leaf bandana, and well, this came out with a poncho. We did see a continuation appear, but it didn't get accepted, so we did see banana leaf burlap, but like I said, it wasn't accepted, nothing happened, and well, this just, it went nowhere. So this very likely could emulate this, it could basically follow this. There is a sense of awkwardness, but will people look at the likes of Desert Beast and think, you know what, that might be Wild Western themed enough, I want to use it with all the Frontier stuff? We shall see. Now, someone did mention this, and I should say this again, Sheriff. Thank you, Bayhan, for mentioning this earlier. He mentioned that all the Cowboy Sheriff skins went up in price very sharply, very recently. Look at the sales history, look at it like this, and you can see that was pretty whoop. And it happened literally when the Frontier pack came out. And then over to here again, and yep, you see that? It's very sharp. Look at all of this, and it's just whoop. So yeah, it's definitely linked to the likes of that brand new DLC pack. So yeah, I could potentially see some positive things happening, but the main thing we worry about is what happens next in regards to will there be a collection. So Desert Beast bandana, I worry more about this. I think we're probably only going to do maybe like 60 cents to 70 cents. It's a cool looking bandana, but we've got many other bandanas, especially with what came out this year. So I think we're only going to do 60 cents to 70 cents. If you want to offer more, feel free to do so. 14,700 bare minimum sales isn't a ridiculous amount, but I'm still cautious. So, yeah. Okay, let's now move on to the Armageddon SAR. This did not sell that much. It only did just under 9,000 bare minimum sales at the moment, but with great respect to it, it does look cool. A lot of people in the future, I could see them liking this. I could see this being appreciated. Aim down the sight, this is what you see. A very cool looking, scary looking like skull feature here. Useful red aim sight. So purely based on the design of it, and I must reiterate, this eye does not glow. So don't worry about that. Don't scream pay to lose at me. Shut up. That's a cool looking skin. I can see it being appreciated. I could see things working out for this in the future. I could imagine this kind of working all right in terms of being a potential thing we can invest into, but I do have to point out a lot of SAR skins came out this year, and not a lot of them are in the positive at the moment. There's a decent couple of them, as you can see. So, so I guess Chameleon went back down again. But yeah, Redemption SAR and Chameleon SAR, they were doing quite all right. And Arctic Skull, I can give you a good reason. Loads of people like the Redemption Collection, loads of people like the Chameleon Collection, and loads of people can't afford the likes of a comics SAR, so they went for the next best fully white SAR instead. No, honestly, that's the answer. So, yeah, all of these other SARs, they went down pretty sharply. Quite a lot of them down to around $1. Yeah, not all of them, but the vast majority went down pretty bad. So, looking at the likes of this, I don't imagine it's going to be as bad as the AK that came out, if you can remember. $2.49, now it's barely over $1. Barely. So, awkwardness aside, I reckon this could do a fair bit better. I reckon this might end up being at around maybe $1.50 for some time, but then post-Christmas it'll go back up. So my answer to you is I'm probably going to do maybe like 80 cents to $1.10. That's my answer. I can imagine it doing a fair bit better than the AK, but I can't imagine it doing insane prices, insane numbers. So profits aside, yeah, that is my answer. So yeah, a little bit awkward. So that's my answer. Moving on, we have the likes of these two skins, and both of them have barely any sales. 5,000 bare minimum sales each. So by default, looking at these two skins, I'm going to sit here and say they are both very vulnerable to future manipulation. We did see quite a lot of AKs come out towards the end of last year that didn't sell that much, and then lo and behold, they were manipulated. And what was one of them? Let me remind myself. What was one of them? Come on. Come on. It's taking its time, don't worry. Okay, here we go. What was that AK? Yeah, Dead Souls. Do you remember this? Do you remember this AK? I do, because it got manipulated pretty quickly. This did not sell that much, and what do you see right there? That did insane numbers. It just went up and up and up. Do you notice how it goes in steps? 1, 2, free. Was it actually worth that price? No. You can clearly see nobody gave a shit about it afterwards. So, yes, this was manipulated. How much did it sell? Only 7,300. So we got an AK here, for example, with even less. But let's talk more about the Thompson first. So this Thompson, 100% is the lowest selling Thompson of this year, with only 5,000 so far. The next lowest selling one appears to be Panther Thompson at 12,000. So remember what I said, especially the likes of Thompson skins. Loads of people like to use Thompsons. They are very easy to approach. They are very easy to somewhat get a hold of. Much easier compared to the AK, I'm sure. But of course, the AK is still favoured. Thompsons, they are one of the top 5 most used weapons in the game. Top 3 even. Lots of people will be using them. There will be lots of justification to want to use skins. And well, typically, especially around post-Christmas time, you tend to see a lot of the skins being bought out and you tend to see them rise up in price ever so nicely and ever so easily. Why? Because there's hardly any quantity on the Steam market with these Thompsons. Why? I don't know. But last year, quite a lot of these Thompsons, they were easily going above $5. So once it was December 2022, rolling into January 2023, so many of these were just selling for, well, like almost double, triple the price they sold for in the Rust store. So, yeah, please keep that in mind. So, rolling back over to here, this isn't the most visually appealing Thompson. Let's just get that out of the way. It's basically just got the edges. It's more of a gimmick. There's no colours or anything. It is what it is. From a distance, it would look as if you're just using any old Thompson, wouldn't it? So, my answer to you is, looking at this, do you think that's going to work out quite all right? The skin itself, probably not, but with the sheer lack of sales, I could imagine this at least retaining its value for quite some time, and I could imagine at some point this very likely might end up being manipulated. There are no guarantees. You cannot really cross your fingers, and you can't just like get something purely with the hopes of it being manipulated. Unless you are the manipulator. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. With the likes of that low poly Thompson, I could imagine it going up in price quite nicely, especially around post-Christmas time. But will it potentially drop down pretty sharply? So let's just quickly take a look at all the Thompson skins that are currently out at the moment, and what do we see? Well, a lot of them start to push up in the positive, so that's nice to see. 40 Panther Thompsons on the Steam market, down by 33%. Let's just go take a look at how it looks on the Steam market in terms of listings, and what you see. Not that much resistance. It could easily turn around and go back up in price, sell for more than what it sold for in the Rust store. And that's basically what I expect with all Thompsons. So I actually think this actually might work out quite alright. Like, all the better for this to rise up in price with hardly any quantity in circulation. And so, I think we're probably going to want to do maybe like 90 cents to $1.30. Yeah, I could expect it potentially going down in price just by a fair bit, but I can't imagine it crashing and burning. I don't expect it to end up going down to around $1. I might be wrong, but at least in the short term, I could imagine it still working out quite all right, and then, yeah. But don't expect insane profits. You could still make a profit out of it, but it's just, I don't imagine it's going to magically turn into a $4 or $5 skin, unless it gets successfully manipulated. So, yeah, that's for that. But an AK... things are different. So, like I said, we had quite a lot of AKs come out towards the end of last year and beginning of this year, and then they ended up being manipulated at some point later on. So, with the likes of this, is there that much demand for the Suprematism AR? Don't think so. No. If you look at this, and then you look at the amount of, if you go by, lowest estimated total supply. This is like in the middle, but you might notice many skins from the past, like 2019, 2017, 2018, tons of skins here are around here. This is when we had a lot less people playing the game. And this has ended up with only around 5,000 sales. This is ridiculous, especially during times like this, where we see somewhat close to around 100,000 plus people playing every day at some point. 5,000 sales is very low. So, again, if this were to potentially end up being built up into a collection, which has basically started to happen. We did see an MP5 being made over the past weekend. Yeah, maybe it might progress, but this by default, I will sit here and say I'm going to do a 70 cent to 90 cent buy order. But if you really do feel like this is potentially going to get manipulated at some point down the line, maybe offer a bit more, maybe consider buying some. But by default, if that had a couple more thousand sales, I would just instantly say 70 cents to 90 cents. But with the sheer lack of sales, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking something fun is going to happen maybe around over the course of the next couple months. So, Keep an eye on the third-party sites. Keep an eye and see if anybody's trying to buy all of them out, because when you see that happening, you know something's up. You know something goofy is about to happen. So, not too long ago, I did talk about this toxic AR. If you look over to here, this appears to be very nice and valuable. What's going on? Well, this was manipulated. You might sit there and say, okay, but I can clearly see this as a $22.70 skin and there's clearly bilders over here, $20+. Oh. Well, that facade got broken very easily, didn't it? Suddenly, you notice that there's hardly any bilders from here to the actual genuine bilders, which barely go up to about $1.70. And yeah, this skin was, as you can see, manipulated. So, a lot of AKs do get manipulated. Don't be surprised by this. And don't be surprised if newer ones that come out still get manipulated. I've said more than enough. Cool? Cool. Right, so let's start talking about what we potentially might see tomorrow. So with the Rust store tomorrow, I should point out that over the course of the past several Rust stores, the vast majority of the skins have been early picks. That means skins you don't see in the top picks list. So you could still take a look at all of this. I'd still recommend it. Keep an eye on all the skins. Also consider watching TGG's videos and whatnot, and get a good look at the skin, how the skins look in game and whatnot. But like I've said, the trend over the past 2 or 3 months is the vast majority of skins in a Rust store will be early picks. So this is where I mention my list. So, you know, every single week we're constantly wanting to be aware of all the new skins, more specifically the continuations. And there was a lot of continuations. Yes, as you can see there's one. And then we got the Abyss sleeping bag. Guys, honestly, don't you just jump in and get nice and cozy? So yeah, there was a lot of somewhat decent, cool-looking continuations that appeared. And I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow we probably end up with about 10 skins in the Rust store, and at least 8 of them will probably be early picks from this batch. All of this, do you reckon it's time to finally see Hardsuit Tier 2 appear? Do you reckon we can finally enjoy being a banana? Who knows, but we'll see, we'll see. Alright, so, with that said, what's Relic piss... Okay, well that's getting bought out. That's another manipulation that's starting to happen. Yeah, I think we got some funny business going on here. Funny business is always happening, especially as we get closer and closer to post-Christmas, so keep an eye out for all of these things. Things that suddenly are expensive, very likely were manipulated. So, all right, I think we've said more than enough. Feel free to keep an eye on the likes of my Twitter. I do post interesting things every now and then to keep you informed of what's going on with the Rust skins, the Rust economy. And do consider watching this Rust Workshop skin checks with all the newest skins, because of course it's best to be informed about everything if you want to make some profits and whatnot. So I think we've said more than enough. Shall we now go ahead and skip ahead to the actual buy orders, and we'll see how everything turns out. So, with that. Right then, people, it is almost midnight, and that means time for the abnormals. Come on. Come on. Come on. How many? Oh, there you go, with 14,000. There we go, perfectly normal. Yep. Right, well, yep. Right, hop over to here. 16,800. Wow, what? What's that going to equal to? Let's go here. Right. How high? How high? You're looking at maybe like and over to here. Right, the other 2 skins are going to take a while to appear, but main thing to talk about, 17,000 buy orders. What are you going to do? Right, so yeah, we'll skip ahead and we'll talk about the abnormal barter support. Right, people, we're back. So, my apologies a little bit earlier. You might have noticed I had a bit of a weird nose situation. I've got a with those situations all over again. So I might sound a little bit weird. I can't help that. I'm sorry, but I'll try my best to proceed with all of this. So yeah, it's been 40 minutes because one of the skins has still not yet appeared. We don't know why. It's been something that's happening over the past few weeks now, but we got to move on. So, yep, you can currently see some of the prices that are listed here, but we have to show you this. Now, unfortunately, my normal extension isn't working properly, so I've had to use a different one instead. And unfortunately, that means I can't show you the prices in dollars, but I know what they are equivalent to, so I can explain it all to you. All right, cool. So, why does this Brutalist Sheepman Adore skin have 17,000 buy orders? Well, unsurprisingly, it's the buy order bot again. So this guy right here, he's making sure that the buy orders always go above $1, always above €1, and well, that's probably the reason why they're always going for around £1. Now, I don't think they're actually British. I think they're just someone who's making sure they get all the potential buy orders based on the Western world. Anyway, point made. I'm pretty sure it's just a European or an American, or could be someone completely different. Who knows? But yeah, if that buy order didn't exist, you probably wouldn't have 17,000 buy orders. No, you'd have equivalent to about maybe 1,300 buy orders. And let's look at the overall build-up. So you can see here, this is about $2. You got to here, you're up to about $2.70, $2.80. You're pushing up to $3 now. You're pushing all the way up to about $3.70. So yes, all the buy orders went up to $3.70. Cheapest listing right now is equivalent to about $6. So if you're looking at this and you're wondering, should I buy it? Well, it didn't sell that much. All the buy orders are pushing very close to $4. It's actually looking to be a perfectly fine investment. You could actually consider jumping in and buy some. Now, again, you could still potentially get it cheaper, because if you were to look over to here, you would notice that, well, you could probably put down like a $3.80 buy order. Screw it. Try and see if you can pick some of these up for 20 cents cheaper. It's up to you, but at the end of the day, this has sold a lot less than what I was anticipating. It might just about barely reach 20,000 sales. Who knows? But at the moment, bare minimum sales are only at 17,690. Now remember, there's a lot of private accounts out there. There's a very decent chance someone maybe bought a few thousand of them on a private account, and then gradually over time, we'll find out there's actually a lot more of them in circulation. Who knows? Who knows? But even then, it's a lot less than the garage door. Will we see more Brutalish skins being made? I'm pretty sure we will. So the future is optimistic, and that's why I think it's perfectly fine to just jump in and buy some of these, if you can. It's not cheap, but we're looking at the buy orders, and it's got very strong support. So I don't imagine it's going down in price anytime soon. Sounds good? Right, so best of luck to you. And don't forget, there is a very decent chance over the course of the next, let's see, so it's either going to be the very end of December, as in the 28th, or maybe the beginning of January. We're very likely going to see another bombshell skin being listed on the workshop. And remember, bombshell skins are 100% going to be in Russ stores. It's TGG skins. That's how he effectively gets paid for his services in helping out with the top picks lists and whatnot that he provides to Face Punch. And if we had the last one back in August, it was August, right? Was it August or September? All right, we'll just quickly remind ourselves. It was September. Hedge had a stupid moment. 3 months later would be the very end of December, wouldn't it? So we very likely will be seeing a bombshell skin at the very end of this year. And that just so happens to be within that time frame of where we're going to see the post-Christmas effect happen and see this potentially go up in price. So we'll see what happens, but it might not be uncontested. We might have a bombshell single Sheepman Adore with glow-in-the-dark and transparency as well. So we'll find out. We'll see. But even then, I'm pretty sure this will be selling a lot less compared to what that potential bombshell door skin will be. All right, now let's hop over to here. Let's take a look at this. Quick refresh, and yeah, unfortunately, same sort of issue. I can't show you this in dollars, but what I can show you is the buy orders, and again, 15,000 buy order. So yeah, this is this might not stick around forever. Just to give you a good understanding of all of this, about £15,000 would mean that this account would have to have £1,500 or equivalent to that on the account. And in theory, if every account out there on Steam can only have to the equivalent of up to around $2,000 maximum Steam wallet, well, this account doing these buy orders basically have exhausted themselves instantly. So whoever's doing this must have thousands of accounts that all maxed out with their money doing stupidly higher buy orders like this. It's insane. So yes, this is also equal to about $1.22-ish. So this is probably $1.21. I don't know why they went one penny cheaper. Who knows? But yeah, there's some funny business going on here. Regardless, when you look at all of this, you got 15,000 here. Someone's just being stupid here and put down a 5,000 buy order request at 3 pennies. Ignore that and ignore this and just look at what we see here. So the buy orders are going all the way up to about $1.80. This is a $2 skin. If you feel very confident that Thunder Gold will be getting tier 2 or Hoodie and Pants at some point down the line, yes, with the barter support that it has, and as you can see, it's pushing up all the way up to about here, yeah, it's looking strong. So you could probably go ahead and just put like a $1.90 buy order, but with the amount that were purchased, we know bare minimum sales is 15,000 plus at the moment. But it's definitely lining up with the likes of the tier 3. So if the whole collection's equal with each other, it all rises up with each other. So yeah, if we see tier 2 or Hoodie Pants, all of this will be spiking the demand, spiking the price all together ever so nicely. So if you're optimistic about that, yes, as an investment, this is perfectly fine. It has the support. It will be keeping at the price. And, well, maybe it won't go up in price immediately, but give it some time. Over the course of 2 months, post-Christmas will happen, and it'll go up in price ever so nice. Yes, by default. Regardless, if we do see the new core pieces, it go up anyway. So, yeah, cool. It's definitely a consideration. Now with the Desert Beast poncho, quick refresh over to here, and well, yeah, this is only going up to about $1.30, $1.40, which is a little bit awkward, but yeah, I kind of scared everybody, didn't I? I sat here and I said, look guys, please understand this. This is very likely not going to be getting anything new for a while, and with that, looking at all the ponchos, looking at all the bandanas, we weren't very super enthusiastic with the likes of the Desert Beast set. But like I said, if we do see more being produced and appearing on the workshop, we will see anticipation purchases, and if we do see those newer skins potentially being accepted, all the better for this. It will spike them on, it will spike a price. But at the moment, support only goes so far, and this definitely is going to blow its rust or price. It's very likely going to halve in price. So these buy orders are only going up to about $1.15, and then you have this one here, but oh, there was a higher buy order. It's already disappeared. So, yeah, this is going down. So, there's not a lot of faith for this, unfortunately. And then we have Soulless Legion bow. So, looks like this is only going up to about 90 cents. Yeah, that's only going up to about 90 cents, unfortunately. People don't seem to care too much. If I quickly refresh, only 500 requests to buy. Yeah, okay. Well, everybody decided to play it safe instead, so that's not too hard to understand. This is not retaining its value. It's definitely going down. And then you look at the likes of this, and the haste storage has still not yet appeared. For some strange reason, no one has listed this on the Steam market. But if you can remember, over the course of the past several weeks or so, we've had like one skin not being listed instantly for a very, constantly now, for like the past 3 or 4 weeks. I don't know why this is happening, but it's still happening. Why are you still refreshing? What's going on? I don't like using this extension. It's weird. Why are you refreshing? Oh, it's because there's nothing there. I see. Right, okay. So I'm going to turn that off in a second. Don't worry. But yeah, Brutalist, gloves, they definitely seem to be the ones to consider. So if you got money, and if you think, you know what, everything's going to work out for the likes of these, it's definitely a perfectly considerable thing to want to buy. Sounds good? Right then. So, once again, very sorry about my nose. I know. I was perfectly fine for a good 2 or 3 hours, and then suddenly I sneezed, and then everything went awkward. My chat was here. They listened to me. They saw me. They can vouch me. I only got weird about an hour or so ago. Anyway. So, like I said earlier, keep an eye on what potentially could be accepted, but based on what we've seen over the past many Rust stores, the very likely outcome is the vast majority of skins that will be accepted tomorrow will be early picks. So once again, I will point out, please, could you consider watching my Rust Workshop Skin Checks videos, because we're always there to look at the newest skins, and we're always there to point out what are continuations, what potentially could be worth investing into. All right? So, more for you to be aware of. Will we see Hardsuit? What do you reckon? Are you a Hardsuit believer? Are you a banana believer? Maybe we'll get something brand new appearing. Maybe we'll get some cowboy-themed stuff being accepted. Maybe we'll get some primitive skins. Maybe we'll see Forest Raiders AK finally being accepted. Or maybe Molten Visage. Or maybe Charcoal. Or maybe Bullseye AK-47. What else do we have? Suprematism MP5. We also had the likes of... What else was there? The Cat Rock. Do you like cats? Do you need this cat? Do you like the cat? It's not Maxwell, though. That's the unfortunate thing. So, yeah. Get a good look at... Oh, Murder Ducky. Murder Ducky's now a door. Look at him. He's going to find you. He's going to kill you. All right. So, yeah. Plenty of goofy designs. It's all there. Consider giving it a watch. And with that, thank you very much to everybody who's watched me. I just reached 3,500 subscribers just a couple of days ago, so thank you all for your support. I'd greatly appreciate that. I try my best to be helpful for all of you, keep you all informed, and keep you prepared for all the potential bad things. And I will be here tomorrow to do my Rust rotation stream. That should not be early, as in, I don't expect an early Rust rotation tomorrow. I expect it to be around maybe like 8 o'clock in the evening, UK time, so that's when I'll be streaming. So, anytime, 8 o'clock, beyond, after 8 o'clock in the UK, so figure out your time zones, that's when I think it'll be appearing. So, sounds good. I'll see you there. And don't forget, keep an eye on the commits. A lot of very interesting things are being shown off here because it's Hack Week at FacePunch. All the developers are just focusing on some ideas that they have, if you know what Hack Week is. Someone over here has been, he's got the idea of stone walls now separate into segments, so when you throw explosives on it and whatnot, it only damages specific segments, and when it's damaged completely, you'll only have like a hole, not the whole wall, a hole. So that'll be interesting. So yeah, give it a good look. The Rust Reboot FacePunch commits, all the newest information in regards to potential updates is right there, especially the likes of Power Plant 2.0, which means, yes, we are now seeing monuments being remade, and that will very likely come out maybe 2024 time. So, with that, hopefully we'll see the player count continue to rise, hopefully the Rust skins will continue to rise, and we'll all make some sweet, delicious looking profits. Thank you very much for watching me, I greatly appreciate it. Catch you later. See you later.